Hi, this is James. Welcome back to El Paso English Cafe. Right now, I'd like to take my chart again and compare it to the vowel sounds in Spanish. I have the 12 basic vowel sounds in English here, and since I'm from El Paso, I'm teaching in El Paso, many of my students speak Spanish as a native language, so it's useful for me to relate these sounds to the Spanish sounds. Now, even if your native language is not Spanish, you may get some valuable insight from this explanation. Okay, so what I'd like to do is start by talking about the chart. Okay, the chart, remember, is a map of your mouth. English and Spanish use the same mouth. At least I know I use the same mouth when I'm speaking English and Spanish. The chart that linguists use to show the positions of the vowels in English is the same chart they use to show the positions of the vowels in Spanish or in any other language. We could map any language's vowels onto this chart, okay? Because it has to do with the architecture of your mouth, the position of the tongue, the position of the lips, okay? So here we go. I'll start with this. This is Spanish E, okay? It's very similar to English E, but not complete. It's not exactly the same, but very, very close, okay? The English E extends through time a little bit. E, okay? So that's it. So this is very similar to Spanish E. What I tell my Spanish speakers is think of two Spanish E's in succession. E rather than just E. Okay, great. Then, and so this vowel is created with the mouth relatively closed, the tongue to the front of the mouth is horizontal, E, E. Okay, here we've got Spanish A, A. This is very close to English A, but it's not the same. Very close, but not the same, okay? A, in English, A has some movement, A. If you watch my mouth closes somewhat. It begins here, A, and I fade. The mouth closes and goes back toward this I. So it's something of a diphthong, A. Okay, this is A in English. This is A, very pure, A in Spanish. Okay, I'm not teaching you Spanish. I'm just comparing so you can help find where these vowels are formed. Okay. Now here we have Spanish A. Okay, this is very similar to English A. Okay, mop, Spanish mama. Okay, very, very similar. There's almost no difference here. Let me go back to this. You also see the difference in the IPA. If you were to look at IPA, they have notation for indicating the difference between Spanish E and English E. Okay, Spanish E, shorter. There it is, the two dots. Also with A, IPA has two symbols. Spanish A, just one symbol. Okay, here we go. A is very close, very close. All right, when we get to O, Spanish O, the rounding of the lips is the same, O, but in English, O has movement. Has movement again. Just like here at A, there is movement creating O in English, O. And that's reflected in the IPA. They've got O with then this symbol for the sound. So there's movement. What I tell my Spanish speakers, it's as if you're starting with O and you give a little U. Spanish has a vowel U. O, O. Okay? So here we go. We've got O. Spanish O, English O. All right, same thing with U. There's Spanish U. Here's English U, a little bit longer. Okay, very, very similar, very similar. So there we go. We've got, now you see the nature of what's happening here. In the same mouth, Spanish only requires 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vowel sounds. Okay, and some of my students have been speaking 40 or 50 or 60 years with only those 5 sounds. The one challenge of learning English is learning to distinguish when you hear these 12 distinct vowel sounds, and also learning to produce the 12 distinct vowel sounds when you speak. So that's the difference. In Spanish we have I, E. In English we have I, A. Okay? So that's one problematic area for many Spanish speakers, is distinguishing this I from E. Okay? They take some time to learn how to hear the difference, and they take some time to learn how to pronounce the difference, which is typical. And if you have any issues like that, well, I understand. That's what I do. I'm here to teach you, and you're here to learn that. Okay, I'll go into more detail later between, these different sounds, but for now, there you see it. Spanish has 5 vowel sounds in the same space, in the same physical structure that English creates 12 sounds. Thank you. Oh, thanks for joining me again at El Paso English Cafe. I hope you really enjoy it.